Not certain I believe it, but it says it. So, okay, hi everyone. As you slowly join in to the live chat. It's either that or this will be the month that nobody shows up. We're all hungover from Lit RPG Con, the long way home, the trials and tribulations of being loved to death by the animals we've left behind. Well, we got at least two people here, which is enough for me to actually do this live chat. I don't need much, just at least one person who can actually help me continue to speak without looking like a complete idiot. I can do that all on my own. Hi, guys. So it's July 2026 live chat. So halfway through the seventh month, the 2020s continue to be the 2020s. Yay for everyone involved. Um, let's see, what do we got? We had last month. Oh crap, brain. Somebody help me. What book did I put out last? Because I am tired today. I think it was Aethers. Fairly certain it was Aethers 12. Was it Heavenly Chaos 5 that I did last? Okay, I'll believe you. I don't know. I'm tired. I know the next book I have going is Antecedents 7, Origin Signal. So that is coming up in just a couple more weeks, just over 2 weeks. August 1st, we will have that. Yay. I do not have the pre order up yet because I was at a convention. It's thrown everything I normally do off, as is normal for somebody with the autism I have. I thrive off of routine, and conventions kind of take that, chew it up, and throw it out the door. And then when I got home, I had swollen legs because apparently Denver decided that the altitude and me weren't going to play nicely this time. I didn't get the tiredness and the hard breathing that other people got. No, I got calf-sized ankles. I got pure cankles going. That was unpleasant. I can say that I hobbled around basically the last day, and it's taken until just a little while ago to get my ankles to slowly start to unswell themselves. So it'll probably take another day or two before I'm back to that. I did no writing today because I've been trying to deal with my legs and get ready for the live chat. It has been a thing. This month will probably be well under my normal word count goal for months. Um, yeah, but that's okay because I'm still at least slightly ahead. And my girlfriend is telling me she is almost done running errands. So let me just reply to her real quick. So life is life, guys. I see some stars going up for questions and comments, so that's good. That'll give us something to talk about. It'll probably be a shorter live chat tonight. One, Andy's not here, and two, I am not the best mentally for being able to string words together to make coherent sentences. But we're going to do the best we can. I know that you all make the time to come to these because this is how one of the ways I give back to the community. Um, so we are going to persevere for at least an hour. For those who went to the con, you got to pick up the Shinhofen books, Dirty, Filthy Harem author. Come on, Spinny Pens, which were a great thing for everyone who showed up. I know lots of people were using them all over the place. I am probably going to pick up at least a few more for like the next time I do a con because they spun amazingly smoothly and they were well loved. Let's see. I gave away every shirt that I took with me. My dear good friend, Mr. Garibaldi, I mean Sean, um, might have been a little too proactive in trying to give things away, maybe a little too assertive at times, but he did his best, and I appreciate him for being there with me at my table for God, had to be at least 80% of the con, uh, possibly even a little more. But yeah, he was right there with me, thick and thin, like nearly every day. Every time I was at the table, he was there for most of it. He only stepped away with his daughter, and I say daughter, but I mean 20-year-old daughter, a couple of times for things. She ran off far more, which, as I tried to tell him, dude, you don't have to sit here with me. Go have fun. But apparently, giving away T-shirts and accosting people to take more free stuff was was the highlight for him. And then I will note here my minions, aka officers, and other assorted associates. I will say were very kind. I think at one point I had a total of 8 people behind the table to help out. I mean, I had the stalwarts in Jay, Jen, Neeb, but then we also had Big Mo come down. We had Reggie come back for another convention. I had Sean. Katie didn't really help out much with the table except the prep day. So, but yeah, we had a lot of people. It was really weird telling the other people who asked, "Hey, do you need help?" Actually, I got like 8 minions. I'm pretty well off this con, so that was a thing. Overall, it was interesting. I only had 3 panels. I think I did fairly well on them. At least one of them was quasi-recorded. I don't know where or when that might happen. I need to reach out to somebody and see about being able to find out where or when they're going to post at least snippets of it so I can redirect to it. Um, but yeah, it's that was a thing. We did have some stalwart fans show up for the con. One of my pure, or I would say pure, one of the full coin collectors, one of the 2 or 3 that aren't my officers, who has collected the entire set of coins that have been available to this point was there. So I mean, and instead of picking up one of the deathless coins I was giving out for free, he said he'd already backed it on Kickstarter, and he took, when he won something, one of the giant posters that had been in the signing room. So he has a full size poster of one of my covers signed by me. We had 4 of those we gave out. We gave away 1 coin of out of everything, 2 of antecedents, and I think it was 6 of the Deathless Sentinels. So yeah, we had a lot of stuff to give away, and then I think it was when we did a rough count, it was like 2,000 shirts overall between the Alpha Company and the Lit RPG Con shirt that we did up, and then Jen's here somewhere. She could give me an idea of just how many pins we ordered and took with us because we gave away all of them. I have that one because I stuck it in my pocket because I wanted at least one for myself. There you go. 2,500 ink pens, the ones I showed you just a little while ago. They were all given away. In some cases, people came back 2, 3 times to pick up another one, talking about how great they were. So at least I have a little bit of branding that will spread. I am sure some people will look and askance of the dirty, filthy harem author written on them, but there you go. Wolf, Banshee's whale, and he's going to get it framed, and I appreciate that, man. That level of dedication as a fan is something that I am always in awe of. I mean, you have a full collection of them. So, Nav, welcome in. I know that you're tuning in from your home country. I'm not going to say more than that, but I know that it is very time different than where I am. Of course, that is one of the reasons I try to do them at different times of the day. So those people who live in far-flung countries from where I live have a reasonable chance of at least making it to one of the live chats. Um, so welcome in, everyone. I think I've covered like the con and stuff, and I mentioned the things. There was no fire this year, unlike last year, so that was nice. Of course, I stayed down the street just in case the con hotel was going to catch fire again. This time they did not do that, so that was good. So, and next year it'll be back in Denver. It should be again the second weekend of July. I think it's the 9th through the 11th or something. Excuse me. Um, so for those who are hoping to look further ahead to like making it to the next one, that is something you should be aware of. And I kind of just did the full breakdown on how the con was, Dragon Master. So there you go. I did talk cranky about how Denver my ankles went and my slow recovery. So we have covered that question too. Let's see. I'm sorry to hear that you had physical issues at the con. All in all, you considered it was a good con. Conventions to me are a mixed bag, guys. Everything I give away is done in the vein of promotional materials. I give them away and hope to drag more people to the brand or to retain readers of the brand, right? So it's all promotional materials. It's a quote unquote net loss for me, but it's basically a type of marketing as well. It's to keep my name relevant in the genre, to keep me in front of people. Um, Sadly, I have not seen a whole lot of TikTok or Instagram from the various people who had photos and stuff that really had anything about me and my table going on. I know that I wasn't there for a lot of the after hour stuff because I get wrecked after hours. I mean, by the time I finish dinner, it's 10 o'clock at night, and that's about the time I normally crash out. So I go crash out. I don't try to push myself, especially when I know that I'm going to wake up and have breakfast at 6 to make sure I'm over to the con by 8, so I can make sure that everything is set up and ready to go by 9 when they reopen doors. So it's a very I'm not in my 20s, far from my 20s. So I can't quite make that game anymore. I'm not even in my 30s doing the whole late stage thing. I would be utterly wrecked out if I tried to do what other people do. Yeah, welcome back, buddy. But yeah, it's cons for me are mixed bag because it takes me well out of my comfort zone. Sitting in my office, just writing my chapter or two a day, not dealing with anyone, to having 2,500 people at the con because they capped out attendance. Um, and then I talked to, I would say, at least half of that when I was giving things out. I would say at least half the con at least wandered by and engaged with the table at least once. So I would say we saw at least 1,000 people. I would actually estimate we saw 18 to 2,200. I know there were some who never made it past my table, um, and I'm sad for that. Like I said, we had the free stuff for them, but it is what it is. Maybe they heard about me as being a dirty, filthy harem author, and they just didn't want to engage, and that's fine. Summer for me is fine. I stay indoors. The AC kicks, and I don't melt. I try not to go outside unless I have to. So, summer for me is always fine. Artist, she does have short hair though. Mina always had short hair. Um, because she mostly hit it under a hat, or a cap, I should say. The tail was apparently me not talking to the artist enough. So yes, it is not 100% accurate. However, it is still a damn good cover. Are you excited by another successful Kickstarter and how fast you hit the goals? Um, yes. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't be. It would be weird if a successful Kickstarter wasn't something that brought me joy. That would be really odd. Um, did it hit everything? It should hit that last stretch goal in the next couple days. There's normally a strong push in the last 48, so we should hit the 15. The signed book plate should become a thing. Um, so I want to say, yeah, the Kickstarter has been a success, even though we haven't finished closing it out yet. It's really going to depend on how you guys all take it. Honestly, how you enjoy or don't enjoy the story after that. It will eventually end up in the usual places, and at that point, I will do my, hey guys, could you please go leave a review, you know, so it gets a little more traction when it finally does hit places like Amazon and Audible. But that's not going to be until sometime in 2027. So we should have a fairly fast turnaround on this Kickstarter. I mean, the book is done. We just need to get them printed, and we need to know numbers for that. The audio is fully recorded and ready to go. The ebook file is set and ready to go. So it's mostly, and I've ordered the challenge coins. I have them. We just need to know how many I need to get to Jen for her distribution of things. The only things that I think we're going that will be a little later trickling out will be the digital artwork, because those are in progress. There's no, I have no idea how long it'll take for those to finish. So those might be the, actually, as sad as that is, that might be the last part of the Kickstarter that actually gets fulfilled. But yeah, actually, it's been good. We're still working on that, and we're already starting to cast our eyes towards the Kickstarter that will come after Deathless. The early stages of planning for that. So yeah, it's been good. Um, the fact that I'm doing this basically special series well off the normal channel, out of rotation and stuff, that's been a little worrying for me because it's not something I'll be able to gauge the success of right away. And the Kickstarter at least gives me an idea that there is, for this, at least this first book, enough support to carry it forward. The fact that it's urban fantasy and not lit RPG or game lit is going to be a difference. I would like to see it spread to the people who normally enjoy urban fantasy. We will see in the future, though. It's really hard for me since I don't market, and I am terrible at self promotion. So time will tell. Time will tell. Okay, I did that one. Nice pen. Can we get them somewhere? No, Paul. I had them. I had them for the Kickstarter, and that was the Kickstarter for the convention, and that was it. I will probably have them. Like I said, I'm thinking about trying to get another batch made for the next convention next year. So I will see about having some more for Lit RPG Con 27. Whether or not I make up a special edition shirt for that one or not is up in the air. I am completely out of my series T-shirts that I have been holding on to forever, and I am not going to replace them. So at this point, the only way to get branded merch is going to be through Redbubble because I no longer have them. Outside of my challenge coins, which of course we have these and my giveaways twice a year. So I won't be able to reply much to this chat. As you know, I'm driving and I'm only listening to everyone talk. Rocket, drive safe, man. Goodness knows that people don't respect the semi truck nearly as much as they should. I had to fuss at my driver, my friend Sean, a couple of times because I thought he was being a little too unwary of the semi trucks that we were sharing the road with. So, APOC, it was always, it's, Jesus. Words are hard. Take it from me, folks. I use them every day. It's always great to see Lily. I am glad that she was there. I am glad that she had a good time. Words, folks, words. In Binding Words, how much of you did you put into James? How much is he like you? Kind of a mixed bag. It's with most things. I have a tendency to take aspects of people, maybe amplify them a little bit, and then add in sprinklings of differences, and then push them back together to make people. Like Sean in Binding Words, based on my best friend. The hopelessness with women, absolutely on point. Um, the I don't really want to get invested in this conflict, not as much on point. He would have been a little bit faster to the draw in some cases. Um, and I myself am not the gun person that James was. That is actually a personality trait of Sean. So, and I don't think Sean's ever done SCA weapons sparring, which I have done at least a couple of times. So, like I said, little bits and pieces get tweaked. The personality, though, yeah, most of that is me. Are you doing Lit RPG? I will be there. I will be a sponsor again. The only questions are going to be basically what I am sponsoring and if I have anything to make it worth having more than like one table this time. Like I said, I don't have any of my own shirts to give out. I don't know if I'll have anything to self promote like I was trying to promote Deathless at this one. Um, so it'll depend. Will I be there? Yes. Will I be tied to a table as much? I don't know. I had a Heavenly Chaos question. In the first tournament, Ben got commas from the Rocks family as part of the punishment. They would pretend they were his before giving the Atropos inside the bubble. They stopped pretending, right? The last book just made me realize it. The ones that he had gotten from them, they basically had, by the time they're off world, those ones had come and gone. They had traded them in. Um, so it is at this point moot. Those ones were no longer in use by the end of the last book. Like I said, I think there's only two or three who aren't my officers, Paul. It is the rare individual who has been lucky enough to be selected so often, repeatedly. So I know Wolf at least one time since he had the full collection basically said, "Hey, I got them all. If you want to pick somebody else, go ahead." So God's words are hard today. So my fans are cognizant of that they have them all, and they would like others to also have some. That's weird that it asterixed those out. APOC, because I have no problem with Tress. Me and Tress are on good terms. I have no idea why that went asterisk asterisk asterisk. MTR, I don't see why that would asterisk those out. How weird. I don't get that. She's read through DCC. She's enjoyed it. She has read a couple of the other web serials. Primal Hunter, I believe, is one that she enjoys. I think she's also read Defiance of the Fall. I'm not positive on that one. I think she's gone through The Wandering Inn as well. Um, my books are a little spicy in most cases for her. Um, just not the thing she enjoys. We did skip those chapters when we were listening to the audiobook of Deathless on the way to and from the con. Um, because I am cognizant of being polite to the people I care about. So we did skip those scenes in Deathless. I have another Heavenly Chaos question, but I don't know if it's a banned question. Well, I mean, then you're taking a risk here, Paul, aren't you? You're like, I don't know if I should do this, but you did it anyway. One of the strategies used in the bubble, I forget the name of the place, was they used caltrops, spare metal as crowd control. They had to pick them up. Would they not have magnets in the world to make it easier? I didn't say how they picked them up, just that they had to pick them up. And there's no saying that the metal they used was magnetic. Not all metal is magnetic, Paul. And since it was not mentioned to me one way or the other, eh, I am just an after action reporter. I just tell you what my characters tell me. Well, Cupcake, welcome in. I'm glad that you are enjoying Aethers. Apparently, it was your intro into the genre. I hope that you have found many series you've liked, mine and others. And it's like I said, it's interesting meeting fans because I still have that little bit of imposter syndrome that makes me wonder when it's all going to just fall apart and go away. Even though I know objectively, just from the things like this and the con, that I have enough fans that that's probably not going to be the case. I still am tempered by the fact that I had Resurrection Quest happen. That did absolutely nothing good for my imposter syndrome. Got my Kickstarter box yesterday. Love the pins. They're currently pinned to my bag, and the book is just amazing. Loved the art, the binding, everything. The art on the glasses looks amazing as well. Well, I can now say that it is in yet another country since you have confirmed that for me, Nav. I appreciate that. It is fun basically knowing just how far across the globe I have fans. If even if I think you're only the second one that I know personally in your country, and once again I'm being vague here, because I've only sent things to that individual nation twice, and well, I should say to two individuals in that nation twice, you being one of them. So it's interesting that at least I have a fan or two so spread out across the globe. Is Banshee's Whale going into rotation after Kickstarter? Nope. The second book will end up being Kickstarted as well. I believe that the first quote unquote arc of it should be that duology. It should be that 2-book set. And then after that, I will have to decide if it's a series that I wish to pursue further or if I'm just going to let it stop there. The series was made as a love project for Andy because she wanted to do dual narration with Jack Fields. And I had a thought, and the first book flowed out really easily, and I am at least halfway through book 2 still. Um, my characters got really quiet for a while because we were uncertain how it was going to be received. With the Kickstarter doing what it is, I've pulled them basically forward, and I'm like, okay, guys, I really need to know how to finish this out because I would like to finish up the second book and get everything rolling because I would absolutely love to have the second Kickstarter next year at the con again. But we will see if that is even feasible. Since it is not in my normal rotation of things, it is I write bits and pieces when I can. So, and that's on top of the other series that I've been trying to prep for when Antecedents ends. I'm trying to get ahead again with another series. So when the time comes to actually swap a series in rotation, I have a little bit of a head start again. We will find out. Is it possible to get the coin purchased availability with the digital book? It is not easy. Unless we are already shipping something physical. I believe that my Kickstarter professional, Jen, has made it so it has to be added on to another physical reward, in this case, the book. So as far as I am aware, since I am a very limited voice in the Kickstarter and stuff, I believe that the coin is only an add-on if you have another physical reward coming to you. So I am sorry for that. Will the Banshee's Whale ebook be distributed through BookFunnel? Jen would have to answer this. I think it is, but she would know. See, there we go. Yes, BookFunnel. Ask and you shall receive the answer you seek. So, when does Kickstarter end? I think it ends in like 2 days, doesn't it? Hang on, I'm gonna go pull it up on my screen here. Banshee's Whale. Let's see. It ends in 53 hours. So a little over 2 days to go. We are at 14,400. We need 15,000 to get the signed book plate. And I think that is our current last known stretch goal. Things would have to get really crazy in the last 48 hours for us to be like, okay, here's a 20,000 stretch goal. Is it possible? Yes. Have we planned for it ahead of time? No. But if things just explode in the last 48, yeah, I can see doing something adding one more clutch stretch goal. I don't think we'll get there though. 15, yeah, I think that's entirely possible. It should be all but inevitable at this point. But I don't think we'd get to 20 or 25. So, any idea how long Heavenly Five's audiobook will take? It was with the audio proofer last I knew. Once they finished it up and they've given it back to Andy and she's done the last little corrections, we'll be throwing it up to ACX and then it's in their court. So all I can give you is eventually. I have nothing for you. I'm sorry. This is why I don't have firm dates on that. I give you the idea of it's being recorded, it's in the proofing stage, we've sent it to ACX. I give you those vague statements because that's all I have. Even when we hand it to ACX, it could take anywhere from 12 hours, which is the fastest I've seen, to 4 weeks, which is the slowest I know another author took. So I can't give you an estimated date. If we're really lucky, I will have it before the end of the month and we can see it hit before August rolls around. If not, probably sometime in August. But I'm not giving you specific dates or anything because I really hate not making the date that I say. Like I can tell you AL7, it's released August 1st. I have the book back. I just need to go through and set up the pre-orders and get it ready and stage it and everything else. So it might also not help that it's not on Amazon, but I'll tell my friends about it. It will eventually be there. It's just not going to be there at the start. It is basically Kickstarter gets it. The Kickstarters backers will get it, and then sometime in like early 27, we will turn it loose through the normal channels. It'll be wide at that point, so I'll probably look at what I can do for putting it up in various places. But it will definitely be going up into Amazon and Audible at that point. So everyone is aware it will get there. If you want it earlier and you want to support me more, there's the Kickstarter. I will get a bigger cut out of whatever you buy from Kickstarter than I ever would through Amazon and Audible. But if you do not want to go through the book funnel thing or through Soundbooth's app, that is up to you. 100% up to the fans. And that's one of the ways for me to know that, hey, I shouldn't do first book or new series releases through Kickstarter. I would get that idea very fast. If you do more spinner pins for Lit RPG, would you consider doing a D4, D8, D10 instead of a D6 at some point? So a person could collect a full set of dice pins. Possibly. That is something that Jen would need to look at. She is my go-to person for lining those kinds of things up. But I am sure that since she is watching this and you have put that idea out there, it is something that I will be discussing with her in the future, and she would have to find out if they make those. So if not, I'll do D6s again because a D6 is always useful. Most board games and stuff still uses a D6, even if nothing else. You can break it out for those game nights. Did you have a good time in Denver? Outside of my how? What did I just do? Ow, ear. Don't do that. I don't know what that was, but that hurt. Ow. I was just rubbing my ear and I got a sharp pain and I did not like that and I do not want to do that again. And I am resisting the urge to re-rub my ear because that's what fucking people do. As I was saying, yes, outside of my ankle issue that I discussed earlier, overall it was a good time in Denver. Took it out of me on a introverted scale, no spoons whatsoever. I was dead every single day. I did my best to not project that the death inside, but overall, yeah, it was a good con. Like I said, it's all there to basically as business. Is Magnus from Banshee's Whale based on anyone? Wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know? With newly released books, how long do we have to tell you about minor typos before you can change them? You can tell me about them at any time. I will at least update the ebook files that I keep, and then when at such time as I ever need to re-upload them to Amazon, they will get changed. The physical copies, that's a whole other kettle of fish. It would take something egregious for me to be like, okay, I need to get this physical book redone again. Um, so physical, probably not. Audio, absolutely not. It would have to be a blurb, a blooper, or it would have to be another really severe issue for me to be like, okay, I need to change this in the audiobook. If it's one that was just me and Andy and not through Podium, that's one where I would have to get a hold of her. We'd have to unlock the file. We'd have to get the update done. We'd have to re-upload the update. We'd have to relock it down, send it back through um, their cycle of yes, this book is okay to release and everything else. But the ebook stuff, if you mention it to me and I go and look at it and I think you are correct, then I change the file, and when I do have to re-upload, and I do have to do them every once in a while, it would get fixed. For like a fresh release, if there's an issue, if I get told in like the first 2 weeks, then I compile them all and I re-upload a book to try to get those fixed out. About half of the ones I'm told are issues. They're not issues. The person just failed reading comprehension, or it's something I did deliberately for a reason. There are clear typos. You'll never catch them all. It doesn't matter how many proofers and beta readers and editors and stuff you have, you'll never catch them all. So when people tell me, I do take it seriously. I do go and look, see if it's something I should fix, and then work from there. I think that answered your question. I don't know. I might have just rambled for a minute and a half straight and didn't answer a damn thing. Wait, you're not going to be giving out the shirt off your back at the con? Fuck no. Nobody wants to see me shirtless, Arctic. Why would I do that? Nobody wants to see me without a shirt. That's that is that is not a thing. As much as I would take the flattery of someone telling me, I want to see that, you must be blind or a liar. I see one of my moderators is poking at me, trying to get me to do things. Guys, to win coins during the live chats, it's very simple. You just need to have a question or comment that I interact with, which is one of my mods basically flagging them for me. If I react to them, he puts your name on the list of people to be drawn, right? I take 5 of those names, chosen at random with a random number generator, and then I message you on Twitch, on Twitch, and ask for what coin you want and your shipping address, so I can then give you the thing that you want. Outside of the monthly live chats in May and October, I do my full-time author anniversary, May, and my published author anniversary, October, where I do things that go across multiple platforms, and I think it's like 30 some odd people win stuff from me at each of those. So across all the platforms, it's like 10 or 15 on each different platform. So everyone has a lot of chances to win. When will the Banshees whale coin be available to win if they aren't available now? The Banshees whale coin will not become available for you guys to win until the book goes live on Amazon. They are going to be held back as not prizes until such time as I have the book up on Amazon. This way, everyone who's bought one via the Kickstarter has it for months ahead of time. So if there ever was a set where everyone came with their challenge coins and was like, I have this, the Kickstarters would have that one extra coin. I don't think anybody's ever actually going to get into a challenge coin battle with my coins, but in this case, they would have one up. However, did you come up with Benson as the name of the butler in AL6? It's a name. It's a viable name. I didn't. It wasn't like I spent 20 minutes thinking about his name. It was just, that seems like a good solid name. I'll use that. Ghost, doing fine. Recovering from the convention, answering questions, comments, and concerns. Doing fine for me. My legs are unswelling, though. At the moment, they're actually starting to be unhappy with me sitting in a chair and not having them above my heart. So I have spent a lot of the last like 36 hours basically just laying in bed with my feet propped up, just to help drain out the excess fluid and stuff. What is this? Ah, that is this. Cool. Okay. Did you hear they're doing a DCC TV show? Yes. I have talked with Matt Dinneman uh, a few times. I made sure to congratulate him when I first heard about it. I made sure to congratulate him when it became official, and then I congratulated him again when it finally ended up with an actual network. I am now waiting, like a lot of other people, to see what they actually do with it. From what I knew, they were going to do live action, and that's going to be challenging in some cases. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hi, Frank. Will you plan any more urban fantasies in the future? It depends on where and how and why you define urban fantasy. If it's just like set in a city setting, which is what urban fantasy should be, yeah, I'm sure I'll have books that focus around characters living in a city. If you mean like modern day style urban fantasy, like Deathless is going to be, My Girlfriend Loves Me, my favorite candy bar. For those who are wondering, okay, I don't know if they'll like that or hate that. The fact that I just showed their branding all over my channel and what my channel represents, but but I don't care. If they don't like it, I won't show them in the future. But hang on, gotta throw that away. Okay. But yeah, she loves me. She brought me candy. Of course, this is probably in repayment to all the candy I bring her off and on all the time. But I appreciate it. I know. And I love the fact that you brought me something nice. Thank you. Did you find what you were looking for? I didn't think you would. Okay. I'm also not surprised. What is the new series about? It's an urban fantasy, right? If you want to know more, go to the Kickstarter page. There's a little blurb up there. What tech do you use when you travel? Do you just use your laptop to write? Actually, when I do cons, I very rarely bring anything with me at all. Normally, because I am so busy that I don't get the chance to write. Could I have brought my laptop with me this time? Yes, it would have been useful for half a day before the con, because the rest of the con, I got up, had breakfast, went, made sure everything was set, and then basically was a table person, shucking free stuff at people, unless I had panels. Was a lunch meal with somebody that had been set up, or yeah, that was it. And then basically after when the con quote unquote closed for the night, I went and had dinner and then collapsed. So I didn't have a whole lot of chance to do anything. It's different. It's been different like at Dragon Con because I don't have tables. I don't have to man those. Um, I have very few panels to get to, and I normally have more times in the morning. I have used a laptop to at least type out fun little things during those times. The coins were so pretty in person. I agree, Noodle. I think the coins were amazing in person. The Deathless coins, especially. I think those are some of the most ornate ones to this point. And the color matching, and the work done by the company was, I think, nearly perfect. There was nothing I could complain about with them. So, thank you for the awesome birthday present. My birthday is July 31st, and AL7 will drop the next day. Actually, when I put it up on pre-order, if you pre-order it, Rob, you will get it, depending on where you live, before midnight of that day. So, like, I'm West Coast. I live in Nevada. I haven't made this a secret. Most of my pre-orders I get at 9 p.m. the night before. So if it's August 1st is when it's supposed to be released, I get it 9 p.m. July 31st. So, I mean, there's a chance you'll get it beforehand. Guys, I'm almost all caught up with you, which is great because I am struggling mentally. I try not to eat on stream. It's I think it's a little rude to eat on stream, honestly. And I had lunch. I do appreciate the chocolate. I will have one after this is over. But I don't think anybody wants to see me chewing through a candy bar on stream. And if you do, I mean, more power to you. I might kink question. I won't kink shame. Is Last Horizon still on track for a release in October for your 10-year anniversary? See, I know I mentioned this at the con. I don't think I had mentioned this anywhere else yet. So Last Horizons is being slowly worked through on the editing side one more time. I gave it a pass myself, and if I could find problems, I know it was rough. I I would say that it was like a pack of wild dogs rough. It was rough, 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 rough. My editors refused to try to take a pass on it before I went through it again. So at this point now, since I finished, my one of my editors is slowly working through the process of it. I hope to have the ebook done before October, so I can re-release. It's gonna be that same file. I'm just gonna basically refresh the omnibus file for it to go out for people to get a refreshed version of it. I'm not going to put up a new file or a new. Uh, I'm not going to make it a new book. I'm just going to refresh the file in what's already out there, which you guys can then refresh. There's a process for it, and that'll be discussed in the future, I'm sure. I have talked with Andy, and she has told me she will give me time early next year to do the audio version of it because it is not up currently on Audible anymore. The rights had been with Tantor. Jonathan Yen did the narration through Tantor. I took my rights back from Tantor after the 7 years. I am going to then have the re-edited version done by Andy and then put that up on Audible. So there are things in process as basically my 10-year anniversary. My ideal goal back in the day was to have it edited and audio done before October. That didn't happen. Life, life and things, and Andy's schedule, and so on and so forth. But I should have the ebook file ready for October, and then early next year, Andy will work on the audio, and then we will see about getting that up as well. So I do appreciate the reminder there. It was something I think I've only mentioned to people in person at the con. So Jen is the logistics officer. She is my Kickstarter person, and then she handles a lot of like the con nitty gritty. So she does a lot. If you have typos, don't report them to Amazon. Go directly to GJ. Use his contact or use Discord. Reporting an error to Amazon makes authors take hits in their stats, which can hurt visibility and stuff on Amazon. If you report to Amazon and Amazon tells me, and I don't get to it in a timely manner, which is as vague as Amazon always is, they can and will pull the file down, which means the book drops completely. I will always take a Facebook message or a Discord DM or something like that, a Patreon whisper as a, hey, this book, this section, this sentence, and then I can go and look at it. If you've used the Kindle report function, it is what it is. I deal with them anytime I open up my my KDP account. If something has been reported enough, there's normally a banner at the top that says, "Hey, asshole, go fix this." I mean, they do it nicer, but that's what they mean. But I do routinely keep an eye on it because I don't want my shit taken down. So, Ogre Hot Springs photo shoot. No, APOC. Nobody wants to see me shirtless. We've been through this. You are like the one person who wants to see me shirtless, okay? Nobody else wants to see me shirtless. The beacons of Gondor call are lit when I take my shirt off. Nobody wants to see that. I want a calendar for the next Lit RPG Con. Yeah, I'm sure Noodle that a calendar for Lit RPG Con 27 would be a big seller. I would not be there. It was the thing was me being yeah, no. Yes, Andy was there for the con, Too Tall. She even stopped by my table a couple of times, but she was busy for most of it. She did come by and do a signing for an hour. We had our fake Andy out at the table. There are at least a couple of photos I know that are already circling of her photo bombing somebody standing with the cutout, which was a good fun. So yes, she was there. Do you feel all drained after the con? I mean, in some cases, yes. I mean, my spoons, absolutely. My cankles, no, they still need to drain some more. They're they're mostly uninflated now, but I could use even more uninflation. So I said you should talk to mom about sewing across the top of that. Sorry guys, my girlfriend is realizing the cat has undone the one end of the catnip toy. After two cons now, do you feel the people running it can keep up in the coming years? Next year, it's at the same hotel and stuff. They're gonna have to do something. They're either gonna have to find another convention center to hold it in Denver, or they're gonna have to move it out of Denver because the 2,500. What is the limit? The fire marshal limit? The what is that? No, but the actual thing. Cap- Max capacity for the convention space. And they hit that this year. um, on at least one of the 3 days. I think it was 2 of the 3 days. And on the other one, they were right near it. So next year will be a real problem. Um, so after that, they need to really look if they want it to continue to be the fan gathering point. They're going to have to look at, like I said, either moving it somewhere else in Denver or moving it somewhere outside of Denver. I would love to see them keep it at least West Coastish, since Dragon Con is already a draw for Lit RPG, and I know Lit RPG has also been making inroads at the Jordan Con, which is also in Atlanta. So I'd like to see them keep it at least Westernish United States. But we'll all have to wait and see because next year it's right back in Denver. No, not the Kickstarter, but the other one you are bring in after all. Rain, I'm going to need a clarification on that. I know I answered a question for you earlier. I couldn't tell you what it was anymore. And I know that was a follow up to that question. So please, once again, give me a follow up to the follow up to clarify the fact that you followed up. Yes, I think that's right. Will the Kickstarter book ever be available on KU? It will not. I do not ever want to run afoul of KDP's rules for Kindle Unlimited, which is it can't be sold anywhere else online. It cannot be published anywhere else online. That is one of the biggest problems with KU from an author standpoint is if somebody pirates the book and throws it up on a quote unquote free site, which we know pirate sites aren't free, guys. They're stealing your data in other ways. But I digress. If it's up somewhere, it has a chance of basically screwing my account with KDP, which is how I upload to Amazon. There's the chance of it being basically warned and or banned or anything else. Since the book is going out in such a way that ripping the file will be easier for people, I am not putting it up on KU. I know that is suboptimal for the people who only use KU, but honestly, it's $4.99 is what I put my books up for, which is less than a coffee or a burger nowadays. So if you do want to read it, it would mean a little bit of finagling financially, I'm sure, for some people who are on a very fixed income, but there will be ways to do it, but it will not be on KU at all. I'm not taking the risks. My livelihood depends on being able to publish things via KDP and mostly into KU. I'm not taking that risk here. No, I can't say that I named him because of that show. It was just I need a name. This is a good name. Was it subconscious? Maybe. Where can we see this new coin? It's up on the Kickstarter page, Too Tall. You can see it there. What are you working on now? Finishing up Aether's 13, and then I will be starting in on Heavenly Chaos 6. That is what I am doing. I am also, like I said, slowly working my way through Deathless 2 at this point. Damn, I finally get out of court and miss most of the live chat. I mean, life is life. You got to take care of what you got to take care of. It will be on Twitch to rewatch, and then it'll also be uploaded over onto the YouTube page, which is basically just there to have what? It's a VOD channel apparently. My girlfriend editor is feeding me words that I can't process at the moment. I know the word. I know what it means. It's not computing in my brain. That tells you how tired I am. Will the Andy version of both the original separate books and the omnibus, or just the omnibus? The original books will no longer be on Audible. If you already have the file, I believe you already have the file. I don't think they took it away from you. I will only be published. I think, did I pull down the 2 original ebooks? If I haven't, I will be. It'll just be the omnibus file that's out there. That'll be the only thing that's updated. So, okay, I answered that one. I am almost caught up, guys, and then we're gonna wrap up when I catch up. I just woke up, but I have arrived. It was wonderful to meet you at the con. Sorry, I was a nervous mess. Jell, it's fine. Talking to people leaves me a nervous mess all the time. I just hide it very, very well because being mocked for it as a kid teaches you to do your best not to be seen as nervous. So, as anybody who's met me in person has told me, no, you were fine. I mean, there was nothing off about how you presented yourself. Thank you. My trauma works. Have you tried using compression socks to help? Yes, actually, I've had them on when I got home. I put them on. I didn't take them with me because last year's con I didn't have this problem. This year's con I did. Next year I will be taking some with me so it doesn't happen again. The things we learn through life. If you have a mistake, fix it. I am going to fix it. Having to yell in the vendor hall of Lit RPG Con and losing my voice was less than fun. Noodle, I absolutely understand. This is why I had the tables outside of the vendor hall, right outside of the vendor hall. Most people had to pass my table to get into the vendor hall. But I knew it was going to be loud as hell in there, which is why I took the tables outside. That and the fact that I wasn't selling anything, so I didn't have to worry about if anything just happened to walk off. I wanted it to walk off. The things that I absolutely did not want to vanish, like the coins I had out to display before giving them away, and the display book of Deathless. And the display Andy, the cardboard cutout of Andy. Those we took away just in case somebody tried to come back and take them. I'd like to see the con move to the East Coast, like maybe Virginia. I am sure you would. I don't know. I have heard rumblings of it going to Kansas City. I would like to see it stay on the West Coast and move to Kansas City. If you're in Virginia, it would be fairly easy to make it to Atlanta for Dragon Con, which has, once again, normally a lot of the Lit RPG crowd. Plus, it's, Dragon Con. After AL. So you want to know what series I might replace AL with? I'm not talking about it right now. Also, I must profess my appreciation to Daniel for being such a lifesaver with cough drops. I bring them because I need them. Handing them off to people who also need them is just being kind to other people who are in the same situation. So, you're welcome. I will be at Dragon Con in 27, yes. After that, it will remain to be seen. Okay, and then she answered that one. And then this is the last thing I have under comments, guys. Are you involving any new series involving space? Not at the moment. Will I in the future? It is possible, but I am not at the moment. And I have caught up on all the questions, comments that were flagged for me. It has been at least an hour, guys. I am brain dead because of the con, and I want to go put my feet up again. So thank you all for coming. Please make sure to check your Twitch messages like this time tomorrow to see if I've DM'd you with my usual question of, you're a winner. Give me the coin you want. Give me the address you want. What is this? Are you going to Dragonsteel Nexus ever? Its home city is Salt Lake City, Utah for this year. And it'll be back to Colorado for the next 3 years. Unlikely. I am not a convention person. I'm not a convention person, APOC. I really appreciate the question, but honestly, Lit RPG and Dragon Con are probably going to be the only two conventions you ever see me at, and I don't know if I will be at both of them outside of next year ever again. Whether I am just at one, if I bounce between them, or something else, I don't know. But those will probably be the only two cons you ever find me at. Dragonsteel Nexus is Sanderson's personal con, then yeah, probably not. I don't think that he would appreciate having a dirty, filthy harem author at his convention. I mean, he doesn't write the things I write. So, thank you for coming, guys. Make sure to check your messages, see if you won, and I will get those out in the nearish future. Bye.